team fighting core.
Last game, we got some fantastic team fights from both Top Esports and T1, and I'm hoping that this game will give us something similar. You talked about the likelihood of a lane swap, and when it's Poppy Jinx versus Kalista Renata, I can tell you right now that Weibo is not super keen to fight that 2 versus 2, and also to try and put this Rumble in a lane swap position is only good news for Weibo. So let's see if they can execute upon it. That's really been a big test for this World Championship, as it has returned to the meta in full effect.
And a reminder that Rumble Q damage down about 20 at level 1. The passive overheat damage on his auto attacks also down. There are some top laners that say he's still playable, obviously not as oppressive as he once was. Keep that in mind as we watch. If he's not able to find those trades, if he's not able to find those leads. But of course, the lane swap, #1 thing on our minds, expected, seems likely for Weibo. You highlighted it. Let's see if they can pull it off.
All I know is that red carpet, when it's laid out, you're either walking to the grave or you're walking home, because the amount of damage that it can do is still something to be respected.
Yeah, they didn't nerf that ability. That ability is still very good. Leandri is still very good. See what the Rumble looks like in this game. We're going to do our 3rd game of the day, our 2nd LPL versus LCK showdown of the day.
And the beautiful thing about this matchup is you highlighted it. Weibo is unpredictable.
Sure.
They're a team that you genuinely don't know the level that they're going to deliver on the day. They've beaten some of the best teams in the LPL. They've lost to some of the worst. Like they are a team that
they're the wild card, you know.
And I think many didn't expect them to qualify, but here we are. We find ourselves in a position where, and again, like a lot of it, I think a lot of the credit needs to go to Tarzan. I loved watching his early pathing, the impact that he has. I would say that Weibo is typically a bot-focused team, a team that likes to play around the bot side of the map.
Are they? Oh, we are deep in the mind games. So for anyone, of course, lane swap, great. But it looks like Gen.g proactively trying to gain control of the top side because they want this 2v2. They are so much stronger in the 2v2. The second they see Crisp has Aftershock, they know they just body that level 1. So trying to put priority on figuring out where the Jinx is going to go, where Light is going to lane, with Pays still near mid.
They've seen the Jax, so they think that the Jax is on the top side of the map, but look at where the Jinx is going. Goes back.
Like, I don't know what is. Chovy flaps out to safety, and Weibo now ready to commit a bit more resources around mid lane, trying to help Xiaohu get the push so they can look towards this Drake. But Gen.g have already reset their bottom lane, all ready to fight back at least a little bit. Nice engage now coming in. Crisp in trouble. Aftershock fading away. That Poppy is dead. Well played by Gen.g.
Crisp isolated in the river. Gen.g just moving their bot lane smartly around the map to help secure these objectives. As Kalista continues to get stronger as First Blood is secured for Gen.g.
Gen.g overall controlling all these objectives. You know the Kalista Renata is going to be stronger earlier on, but you still had to navigate the map state well to be able to leverage the advantage.
I just like the way in which they save this bot lane pick for last, because it's their bridge into the late game, right? You know you have the Smolder, and maybe the early game of Rumble was impacted, and you expect these lane swaps, so he's going to be put a little bit behind. You have this bot lane which you can play through in the early game, and I think
it is. It's the most reliable piece, is Crisp. Whips his ult. See? Blitz ult. More reliable. Daisy called out. 4 grubs already picked up. Lens ulting over the wall. That's going to be big. Paired beautifully with the Rumble, but 2 quick flashes out from Weibo means they're going to still be standing. Crisp isolated, but now the TP coming in from behind with Breathe. The Jax could be big here. Canyon caught out for a brief moment, but they're instantly turning back onto Breathe. Breathe ulting to get a little bit of extra tankiness, but Light still untouched for now. Chovy coming in. Mom called. First kill picked up. Rocket going a little bit wide as Chovy tries to flap out to safety. How much left on the Counter-Strike? Breathe. Can he continue to chase? The answer is no, but 2 for 2 the overall kills. A TP of his own will show up on the bottom side of the map, waiting in the brush. Gen.g do spot him. Are they going to collapse? Or are they going to go for the 50-50? Knockback coming in. Crisp channeling that ultimate. Will get the jungler out of the pit. Now they can just burst it and go for it. It's not even going to be a 50-50. Rumble ult is solid. Mom called in, but it might not matter. Dragon taken. Weibo need to get out, though. Xiaohu low. Healing coming in for the redemption. Gen.g, do they still want this fight? Breathe into the back line. Pays. Now going to be in trouble. Knockback coming in. Lens now trying to send out the hostile takeover, but it's only going to connect onto the Jax. Breathe likely to fall here, but the rest of Weibo now ready to follow up. Pays getting 1. No kill going over means no reset for the Jinx quite yet. They're desperate to get something else for Light. Crisp knocked down into the wall. Canyon going back through. Healing up off the passive is clutch as Light, no mana, but still wants to keep hitting. Handshake not going to connect. Xiaohu finishing the first kill. Reset coming in. Gen.g backing away, but the Drake going to Weibo.
The health bars are blinking across both sides. The level of patience showcased from those Gen.g players stuck in the pit to hold on to their flashes until the very last moment was crazy. Ultimately, though, it's Weibo that do secure themselves the Dragon. They deny Soul Point away from Gen.g, and it's just a 1-for-1. But notice how the gold lead just continues to mount in favor of Weibo. This fight starts with a good Poppy ultimate onto Canyon, getting him out of the fight. The combination of the Maokai ultimate and the Rumble ultimate looks promising to start with, but this difference between the range, look at how Light chips away at Chovy's HP bar, the Redemption doing work for Tarzan and Xiaohu on the backside, and then Breathe working well by going in for the 1v3, but then the Renata ultimate zoning the rest of Weibo away from the exchange. But now, there's just no more HP for Gen.g to really look for another fight, so they're forced to play defensively, they're forced to retreat. And then unfortunately for Lahens, he didn't quite expect the damage to come out from Xiaohu, resulting in a 1-for-1.
And it's important. Nice W, twisted advance, keeping him in the play. They just need to finish the objective. They just need to get the Baron down, and they will do so. Breathe now in no man's land. Ulti now used by the Kalista. Breathe locked up for a brief moment, trying to find the sun, trying to find the angle, flashing out to safety. Calling from Xiaohu, doing a whole hell of a lot of damage as Tarzan tries to chase. But Chovy, crucially untouched, flashing from Chris, trying to finish the job. The bailout there, but the bailout is not enough. Breathe still going. Xiaohu flashing in with full confidence, but Chovy is alive, looking for the resets. Tarzan now trying to get the hell out. Chovy looking to finish one more kill. Canyon gonna get the job done. Weibo with the man advantage, 4-3. Overall, the fight calming down. Gen.g just want to get the hell out with their Baron buffs. Maybe grab mid lane tower on the way.
Gen.g recognized the amount of time that Weibo spent on the map, and they see a window to go for the Baron. They're able to secure it, but it costs them 2 members. The TP now coming back in.
Fight not done yet. Breathe chasing.
No, this fight is done. I do not think that Weibo can continue to chase this. I think that was an overzealous TP play for sure. At the very least, they're back out onto the map a little bit quicker. But the reason why I was concerned about the start of this Dragon was because they spent so much time on the map. That gave a great window for Gen.g to go for the Baron. They rush it down, use the Maokai ultimate to zone them away, but then they turn their attention to Breathe, and they think this could be an easy pick. He buys a lot of time, and Gen.g becomes split up. That allows for Weibo to capitalize on the split up members. They target the bot lane, and they're able to find 2 kills. The downside for Weibo is that Tarzan does lose his life in the river, but ultimately it's a Baron secured for Gen.g. Now, here's the...
You want to be 1-0. You want to find that advantage, get out as quick as you can. Remember, 3 and you're in, lose 3 and you're out. Is a great ulti kicking things off. Tarzan caught, beautiful layering of the CC. And now Gen.g set up on this next tower. Knockback from Chris, not really going to connect. Does force the ult out from Pays at the very least, but this Red Bull Baron power play only growing more and more in the favor of Gen.g.
I mean, Gen.g figured out the formula. Just stack enough ults and you'll force an engage eventually. Really nice use of the Rumble ultimate with the Maokai ult.
Breathe on the sideline, going to knock down this tier 2, but TP now coming in from Xiaohu as well. Wants to TP
is this
behind them.
Flanking Lucian?
Yes, sir, it is.
He's spotted out on a ward. They know he is there.
This is incredibly awkward.
Here comes Breathe as well.
Breathe here too. Gen.g actually have to be careful though. Their TP's coming in, but it's going to be a little bit late. If Weibo could first draw on the fight, they might be able to get something done, but now it's Keen behind them. Light going to be the one in trouble. Hostile takeover coming in, just barely going to clip them. Shutdown is big. Keep in mind that Smolder's been stacking this entire time. 400 for Chovy. Breathe trying to get in the mix. Wants to finish off that Dragon, but he doesn't have the damage. Double kill from Chovy. Weibo sent packing.
And now the momentum has completely shifted. Gen.g punished the re-engage from Weibo, disconnected in their approach with a TP flanking Lucian. Things begin to fall apart. As Gen.g, Chovy.
Xiaohu, nice backstep. Chovy trying to finish, can't get too low. One dash, one auto, but there's Pays!
He gets the shutdown onto Xiaohu, and Gen.g R.
Yeah. Not the normal like Malphite, you know, Jarvan whatever, but it's a little bit more range to it, but still
you know,
works very well.
Pays though struggling to contest that mid wave. The culling once again.
Decent chunk. Mid pry on the favor of Weibo for a brief moment. They're now trying to use it to collapse onto Lahens. Lahens flashing out. Tarzan flashing in. Hostile takeover is there, but Breeze still onto the back line. Going to be forced to use the ulti out from Pays. Buys a bit more time. Reset is there. Hostile takeover didn't do much, but now Breathe in the midst of the entire team is still about to get shredded. But finally, Lahens will drop. Light on the backside. The resets are starting to come in. Chris still standing for an extra moment here. The knockback is there, but down goes the tank. Xiaohu finding the kill. Pays, Chovy, Keen still standing. Looking to push Weibo back. A 2 for 2 thus far. The slow onto Xiaohu from the Maokai is crucial. Even from the grave, Canyon having that impact, and the fight just stops there. Nobody really has the tools to follow up.
a very close affair. If Weibo was able to find more out of that collapse, they could have converted it into a Baron, but Gen.g responds in kind. They're starting the Baron without a smite of their own. They do, of course, have the Callista.
They have the Rend. TP behind. Gen.g betting maybe not everything, but a whole hell of a lot on this play. Xiaohu now in the midst, trying to get a bit more damage now. Flash in from Pays. Keen going gold, and Xiaohu needs to get the hell away. Pays just running him down in the 1v1. But now it's Chovy and Pays, the 2v2. And we just keep going. 7 seconds on Breathe, but he doesn't have the TP. Canyon up in 5. Don't think anyone else is starting the Baron, but I'll...
Oh my goodness, the
Base
interrupt, it gets interrupted, which is huge with the dragon spawning in about a minute and a half. But they're
Force
gonna
down
start
this
this Baron. A bold move, but it's melting with double 80 carries.
Canyon, can he get into the pit? Ulti coming in, 5k, getting lower and lower. This Maokai wants to try and steal it away, but no, Tarzan finds the angle. However, Crisp already going down. Breathe off on the flank, hoping to find an angle into this fight. All of Weibo retreating. Gen.g might not have gotten the objective, but it looks like they're taking control thus far. Breathe instantly into the back line. Jax finding the knockup on a 2, the stun, excuse me, as we continue the fight. But off the side, it's Chovy finally getting involved. Again, the execute's coming in. He's just sneezing on him, but it's not enough to get the job done. Light still standing. Pays still standing. It's a hot mess. Weibo down a man, but up a Baron.
He's trying to get an execute onto someone recalling, but he's not going to be able to find anything. But the problem for Weibo is, yes, they're able to get the Baron, but they lose 3 members, and the Soul is available. Gen.g are going to make a beeline towards that objective, get the Infernal Soul for themselves. And wow, what a back and forth. The craziest thing about that last team fight, Daisy got a 3-man knockout. Like, it was... I really hope we get to see a replay of that one, because it was a chaotic team fight. Chovy with an ambitious flash to shut down Light, and he almost got the execute, but he died just before he was able to get enough damage.
And surely a full build Smolder with 425 stacks and Infernal Soul is enough to end a game. But this fight...
So great Rumble ultimate onto the backline, but it doesn't actually end up doing as much damage as I thought it did. Crisp ends up getting melted immediately. The Jinx positioning is great. Lens doesn't die initially. It's this flank from Breathe in. But look at that 3-man knockup coming out from Daisy. Provides good utility as Chovy finds a kill in the Baron pit. And then watch this flash in from Chovy. Tries to get the last bit of damage. Not quite enough as Breathe comes over to help. And then it ends up being a 3 for 2. This Jinx is full build.
To get in here. Weibo have to force, and again, whoever has to force, very likely to lose the fight. TP flank, they know that it's coming. Breathe on the way in. Rumble Equalizer not doing much, gets a bit of space for Chris. Pays starting to step up. Ulti coming in from Chovy. Hostile takeover big. Light immediately going to cleanse, though doesn't want to give too much. Pays trying to get into the back line, trying to make sure that Light doesn't have any room to work. And already the Elder is taken down, and instantly, in the blink of an eye, 44 minutes in, it's an ace for Gen.g as they look to close it out here.
Mom and Dad just melt away Weibo as the Elder was enough to secure the fight. Once again, 5 for 0, and Gen.g will assert themselves as the dominant force.
Incredible stuff, the confidence from Gen.g, finding that window of opportunity. Keen, a quiet hero across the game, forcing Breathe back, giving them the ability to start that major objective. The first LPL LCK matchup might have favored the LPL, but this one going in the favor of Gen.g as they take down Weibo.
A close back and forth between Gen.g and Weibo. But you know what? You've heard from us for 45 minutes. Let's quickly toss it over to the analyst desk.
Thank you so much, Petty. Of course, you need to keep your energy in check for this long day, but exactly, Gen.g evened up the score again between the LCK and the LPL with their victory, and they did it by saying, we don't care about patch 14.18.
We can't read. No, we refuse to read.
Our entire top side will be, you know, the nerfed Rumble, the nerfed Maokai, the nerfed Smolder, but that doesn't always mean everything.
No, it certainly doesn't. And I think the Gen.g macro is still very much prevalent, despite how many issues they had in the early game in terms of finding a gold lead. They still found the 6 crops. They didn't. They found not just the first, but the second dragon as well. And